There's a little over a week left into voters heading to the polls to choose our next mayor, and time is running out for those hoping to catch up to Olivia Chow. A poll from Main Street Research released earlier this week shows Chow has double the support of her closest rivals. Chow sits at 31% among decided voters. Anna Bilau, Mark Saunders, Josh Matlow, and Anthony Furey are all clustered between 11 and 14%, while Mitzi Hunter, Chloe Brown, and Brad Bradford are seeing single-digit support. 900 eligible voters were surveyed with a margin of error at plus or minus 3.3% at the 95% confidence level. Now, for more on the mayoral race, we're joined live in studio by CB24's Lindsay Biscaya, who's sitting with Stephen Holyday, who's the councillor for Ward 2 at Etobicoke Centre.
That's right. Thanks, Eden. Okay, so we'll just take it right over now to Councilor Holyday. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thanks for having me, Lindsay.
So
it's an important issue.
It is an important issue, and you were considering running for mayor yourself, but you were telling me back in April you decided to put your support behind Mark Saunders. So why did you decide to do that?
Oh, indeed. You know, I understand Mark's platform, and it responds well to what I think is the top issue in the city, and that is that the city government has no money. And so all of the sub-issues flow from that. The candidate that's best positioned to solve that is the candidate that can make this city work towards the future. But the other thing about Mark Saunders is that he's already had a career in public service. 38 years as a police officer, chief of police in the fourth largest city in North America. I mean, that's a pinnacle of a career. But it also shows him and demonstrates his ability to lead and to work through City Hall. I don't think many of the other candidates can claim that level of experience. And so it's about fit for the job. It's about seeing somebody that can lead us through a very troubling time over the next number of years.
You know, when you go to Mark Saunders' platform, he's spoken about other things in debates and whatnot, but his platform really centers around public safety. That seems to be his main focus and what he's talked about the most. So what would you see if Saunders were to win? What would you see in a Saunders administration?
Well, you know, I think through this campaign, candidates have been trying to define the issues. And although nobody really wants to talk about the finances, I know because of the work that I do, that public safety is an issue that resonates with everyone. Somebody that's familiar with policing but has seen, you know, the good of Toronto and the bad times of Toronto and dealt with people one-on-one as a police officer understands what drives crime. And so I think Mark's come out with policies that speak to that in a very practical manner. You know, he's got solutions that can help address the issues of crime. And certainly is someone that supports the police. And, you know, I'm troubled by any candidate that has a history of not supporting the police because I think that's offside with the general population in the city of Toronto.
You're not the only one who has endorsed Mark Saunders. Premier Doug Ford has all but endorsed him, saying he would be a great mayor. But this comes at an interesting time, doesn't it? When a lot of Torontonians, from what I've heard, are not happy with what Premier Doug Ford, the changes he's been making in the city of Toronto. Do you think that this is a good time for someone who would, collaboration is important, but for someone who would maybe not work against Premier Doug Ford in terms of some of the changes he's making that Torontonians are not happy with?
Solving the financial issues in the city of Toronto will require collaboration with other orders of government, whether it's through dollars transferred from one to the other or looking at the services that we share. We must have a mayor that is going to work with both orders of government, a liberal federal government and a conservative provincial government, both duly elected by the people. And so if a mayor signals that they're going to be spending council time and their time fighting other governments for political reasons, that's not a good thing for the city of Toronto. So Mark indicating or being a candidate that can work with other governments, whether it's conservative or liberal, is a plus for the city of Toronto.
Just lastly, Councillor, before I let you go, Saunders, as you said, has been a leader in the police force, but it's very different being a leader of Toronto. So what would your advice be to Mark Saunders if he were to win?
Well, to continue to listen to people across the city about what it is that's important to them, to remain accessible, but most importantly, just deliver practical solutions, which I think he's doing, which I think he's proposing. Things that respond to the everyday needs of people, whether it's getting the grass cut, getting the garbage picked up, delivering clean drinking water, providing police and security. You know, it's a crowded field out there. I think people need to think about their future. Mark Saunders, number 84 on the ballot. I think has a lot of those solutions and can lead us through the troubling times of the future.
Okay, Councillor, I appreciate you taking the time today. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.